All the super chats go to the top. You guys shouldn't be moaning here, man. You have an opportunity to run yourself to New Orleans and potentially another championship. The second one in 7 years. And you're fucking crying to me about a guy not looking good in the pocket. Come on now. Where you going here? The fuck are you talking about? Who gives a shit how that guy looks? Do your job. Do your job. Let's do it, Nick Saban. Everyone, do your job. Do your job. Hand the ball off 30 times. Throw it 18. Get the fuck out of the way. Bring home your Super Bowl, and everybody can cry about it in the offseason about how much he sucked. It's okay. Just go get the title. Yeah, I'm with the top. All right. All that being said, man, we're 5 days out. It's 18 degrees in cold-ass Philly. How you doing? Right now, everybody's got to be a little warm inside. Man. Hey, I bet you AJ and Devontae are real happy with that 92 net, yo. Anyway, without further ado, the legend, our friend of the merch giveaway. Holy shit, this guy, man, he will clothe you like nobody in Philly. I mean, holy shit, here he is. The co-host of Birds 365, our friend, Big Z, Zander Krause.
What's up, Big Cells?
How you doing, brother?
That was the best minute of content that you put out in maybe all season right there. Second Super Bowl in 8 years. Who gives a shit what that guy looks like? That was great.
Exactly right. I thought it was interesting. John said that everyone in the NovaCare Center is pissed off that the offensive passing game looks the way it does. I've become more like you. Who gives a fuck? I got 2 games I don't have for the next 2 games. I don't have to worry about that. I'll worry about that in the offseason and how this is going to look. But Zander, you and me we kind of formulated that topic at the beginning of the show, but don't you agree? That would be a complete
big spin on it. Let's be clear.
Wait a minute. Wait. Won't that be an indictment, though, on the quarterback if they win it with this style?
It depends. It can go 2 ways, all right? If Jaylen Hurts is able to string together a dynasty and this team can piece together multiple Super Bowls in this era of Eagles football in the next, call it, decade, or, he's 26 now, say till he's 33. All right, if he gets multiple, it looks like he had a dynasty. If you have 1 Super Bowl and you look back on it in 10 years, I don't think it's a bad look on him, but it's certainly everybody will certainly say, yeah, I mean, that was a Saquon, Barkley, and Eagles defense Super Bowl. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. I'd rather look back and say that than not look back and say anything at all. But, that's how it will be viewed, I think. And I don't think that's a bad thing, but I think we should be able to come to grips with our roster's incredible. Our quarterback is right now a game manager. He's doing a good job not turning the ball over, but he's not an elite guy. We're not a quarterback-driven dynasty. We're not a quarterback-driven football team. That's okay. I think that's perfectly fine. But, and then you spun it around into something, which is what Big Cells is going to do. But I do think that's how it will be looked back on. And again, I don't care. As long as we can look back and say something, I'll be happy.
What? Me? Spin anything? Holy shit here. All right. Let's go down the list of what observations that we are going to look at here on Sunday here. So I'll ask you, will Hurts be a factor in the run game on Sunday? And I want to preface this by saying we gave you guys some breaking news. I had a chance to speak with a friend of ours that's on the coaching staff. Hurts is going to wear a brace in the game on Sunday. The same brace, it was kind of a soft brace that he's going to wear like he did on Sunday in the game, which might limit him a little bit and might give you the impression that he's hurt a little bit more than what people are saying about that MCL. Do you think he'll be a factor in the run game Sunday?
That's probably the number one thing I'm watching in that first quarter is what does Jaylen look like in the pocket? And even furthermore, what's the game plan from Kellen Moore coming into the game? And how does that relate to the quarterback and how they're using him? So, even last week, what was the first play we ran from scrimmage? You remember what it was?
I think it was a pass, wasn't it?
Under center, play action pass where Jaylen rolled out to the left and hit Dallas Goedert. Okay? You don't run that play if your quarterback has a banged up knee. It's going to be very interesting to see how they approach the game offensively early in the game. So I'll be watching that. And look, if he can't run, what does that change? You know, part of me says a lot. Okay, but hear me out. That offensive line is still the number one. That running back is still the number one. He did run 160 when Jaylen wasn't in the game. So where I've slightly varied is
160 won't be enough to win.
Well, I agree, but I'm not saying that we're not going to build. I'm not saying Jaylen doesn't help the run, but I think our team is still built, even if he can't contribute in the run, to get their yards. Now he's going to have to be a little better than 90 yards in the air if he can't run the ball. Last week he had 70 yards on the ground. He had a touchdown on the ground. It wasn't a tush push either. It was obviously a big touchdown and momentum swinging touchdown. So if you don't have that, he's going to have to make up for that in plays in the passing game. I don't think he can't do it. I think he can 100% do it. Look, I've been rewatching a lot of Eagles football in my downtime, just watching games, 22, even earlier this year, watching. I mean, you go turn on that Steeler tape. Again, only one game, not saying it's going to be easy to replicate. Jaylen Hurts threw the ball very well in that game. He found the one-on-ones. He threw the ball up. Go back to the Eagles Super Bowl, different era of Eagles football, when we won. The first touchdown pass from Nick Foles. Alshon Jeffrey wasn't open. He was in one-on-one. Like, you got to make a play. You got to be willing to make a play if you don't have your legs. And I think you're going to have to see that from him. But I have a little bit more confidence he'll be able to do it than you do.
Because the only game you can lean on that he did it in was the Pittsburgh game.
Yeah.
There were very sporadic games. There were very sporadic games throughout the season. He had moments and quarters. He didn't have games where he played the way he did in Pittsburgh. So to me, that was a one-off. That wasn't something that they did all season long. And for me, you had 285 yards rushing and still only almost lost to the Rams this last weekend. If you get 160 or 150 yards from Barkley and Hurts is not effective, you're losing that game. You got to go for over 200 in that game rushing, in my opinion, to keep that offense on the sidelines and beat them up. You cannot be limited.
I agree completely. The other variable here is will the defense hold up to the standard of being the one overall? You know, it's one thing to be the number one overall defense at the end of a year when you calculate 17 games and you take all the stats and the metrics. But on any given Sunday, if you're not the number one overall defense, well, that variable, that equation changes very quickly. Remember, I feel great about the defense, but I will say they can be got. 5 touchdown passes last time we played Jayden Daniels, 330 in the air last week to Matthew Stafford in the snow. There's some look. I think you don't have Nakobe Dean out there. I think the edge rush rotation is light. You know, I think you didn't have Quinyon Mitchell for more than half of the game last week. I think some of those things are going to be a factor. I mean, I don't know if Quinyon stays in that game. Is Matthew Stafford throwing for 330 in the snow? That's a lot of yards to me, man. In the snow? I mean, I'm not saying the defense isn't going to hold up. I'm just saying if Jayden Daniels has any magic, which he's had all postseason long, are they going to score 27 or 30 points? You know, will the Eagles be able to keep up with that? I think they can. But I'm just saying I wouldn't expect the Eagles defense to hold them to 14, 17 points.
No, I think this is going to be you're going to have to really, I think you're going to have sustained drives in this ball game against this Washington team. By the way, I'll tell you what, people went to sleep on Dante Fowler. I think he was first drafted by the Jaguars. He had 10.5 sacks this year.
He was a Cowboy too, wasn't he? Wasn't he with Quinn and Dow?
Cowboys, that's right. It
might have been did the Jags draft him or was it the Cowboys?
I think the Jags drafted him. And then he went to Dallas.
Yes, you're right. He did. Did he play in Dallas? I thought he did play in Dallas. I thought he was one of the guys that was with Dan Quinn in Dallas. Let me look at his career.
I don't remember. I thought it was Jags.
He was on the Jags. I know he was on the Jags. Yeah, he was in Dallas last year with Quinn.
Okay.
He drafted to the Jags in 2016. Okay. Yep. Round 1.
Florida kid, right?
Yeah, pick 3 overall. Yep. Florida kid. But he was with Dallas the last 2 years with Dan Quinn. I knew he was one of the guys who was on that defense with Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn's done a good job, man. That's the other variable. I don't think he's gotten enough credit for what he's done this year too. Really good job by him, man. Really good. I listened to his press conference today. I really like his approach. I haven't followed him too much, but he definitely got that Dan Campbell-y type of feel to his coaching right now. Yeah. And I think he's even playing, he's almost playing with fire a little bit more because he knows, you play it safe, you're going to get got, like he did in the Super Bowl when he was up 25. I think he's a different type of coach right now. And him, look, we're better than Washington at basically every spot. Yeah. I would say. Basically every spot. Maybe outside the quarter. I don't think you're better at the quarterback spot right now. Jaden Daniels is red hot. Let's be real. But they got the quarterback.
And I don't think you're better. I don't think you're better at the coordinators.
Well, I don't know.
I think Vic has had a better. I think Vic's had a better year, but Dan's done more in this league than what Vic has done. He's got 3 conference championship rings as a coordinator and a Super Bowl ring as a coordinator in Seattle and helped build with Pete Carroll the Legion of Boom. And on the other hand, I think Kingsbury has got a resume of all these dual threat guys like Patrick Mahomes, like what he did with Caleb at USC, what he's doing now with Jayden Daniels. I mean, I think he's got a resume that fits the skill set of the quarterbacks that he coaches.
Yeah, I think he does. But who had the better roster? Okay, we have the better roster coming into this game, right?
Good question.
Easily. Great. We can all agree on that. I think that's unanimous that we all agree on that. Who had the better roster in the 22 Super Bowl?
Of course, the Eagles did. Last year, the Niners did.
So it's the same formula here where they have the better quarterback. And is that going to be enough of an equalizer to overcome the roster of the Philadelphia Eagles? It's simple in my perspective. I think this game's going to be closer than people.
Vic Fangio does not have an NFC championship ring as a coordinator. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Zander. Go ahead.
He doesn't? I don't think he does.
No, he does not. He does not. He has that. I think he has one as a position coach.
That's what I was going to say, though. I mean, they got the great equalizer in Jaden Daniels right now, and I don't give a shit what year it is. I don't care how old the kid is. I don't care how much experience he has. Right here, right now, on January 22nd of 2025, he's playing like a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. And at times, like a top 3 quarterback in the NFL. I'm not saying his career is going to be that. I'm not saying that he's going to be going to Canton. I'm saying right now, right before we play this team, that's how good this kid is playing. That's an equalizer in this league. I don't know. Did you happen to catch, Sills, any of Ben Johnson's opening press conference today?
No.
Okay, so Ben Johnson starts off his opening press conference today discussing Caleb, or when he got asked a question about Caleb Williams, and he went into a stat about how important quarterback success is in the modern NFL, and he basically explained in 30 seconds that the scale of QB success correlating to your team being successful has tipped so much toward the quarterback that it's way more than turnovers now. In other words, your quarterback is the number 1 indicator of whether you are going to be a good or a bad football team. Number
That's
1,
correct.
more than turnovers, I thought it was a very interesting thing the way he explained it. And I just say, coming into this game, they have that quarterback. So anything can happen in this football game, man. Anything can happen in this football game. And by the way, the kid was on the road the last 2 weeks. He's played lights out. Now, I know the Dome in Detroit's not the same. And I know Tampa, Florida, which is 50 degrees, 60 degrees, is not the same. It's going to be 40 degrees and clear skies at kickoff. All right? Weather is no factor. Now, the fan noise, sure. Detroit's also loud, though. Jaden Daniels doesn't seem to be spooked by much. I wouldn't expect him to be spooked by that. Yeah. I don't. Yeah. Come on. So I'm just saying, I don't think all those variables are as important as some people are making them out to be. I think actually everything's set up for the Commanders in this game with the weather.
Number 2, how are the Commanders going to defend Saquon Barkley? I mean, this is the game here. If you make him struggle, the game is going to be a 4th quarter football game.
Yeah.
You listen, he's going to get his. You can't listen. If he wants to run between the 20s for 500 yards, I don't care. You have to play lights out red zone defense and not allow that team
if you're
in
that,
the end zone.
Let me ask you a football question, all right? And excuse my ignorance, everybody in the chat, for this question, but it's worth asking because I don't truly know the answer. What do defenses do versus the Philadelphia Eagles that when Saquon Barkley gets past the second level, he's lights out? It's gone. Why does that continue to happen to teams who watch Eagles tape, see him do it over and over and over and the Rams, it happened 4 times. Is there not a switch? Is there not something a defense can do to stop that from happening? Because like you just said, you got to get rid of them. If you're an opposing team, right? He can get 20 yards. He can't get 65 multiple times a game.
You want
Is
me
it
to tell
dropping the safeties? What are they doing here that this keeps happening to teams? Because you asked me how should they play them. I wouldn't let that happen.
There's 2 ways of looking at this. So let's do it simply on how he breaks open. When you drop your linebackers down and you drop your safeties down and you're trying to load the box, those offensive linemen get on second levels so well, it takes one block to stop pursuit, and he's gone, and you're gambling, but you have no too high safety help. And when he's gone, he's gone. The other factor in this, dude, that fucking dude out wide, I got to worry about him on that slant pass. He's going to take and hit his head on the goalpost.
Right.
A.J. Brown. I fucking have to concern myself with those 2 wide receivers.
Yeah, but
they are as effective as decoys as they are when they're getting their yak yards. I have to, as a defense, linebacker and corners and safety, if you want me to help in the run game, something has to be a give. You can't let that guy – how many times did I say this all year? How is that guy single covered? You know why? Because you're either picking Barkley or you're picking AJ. And you have to defend what? The counterplay by Hurts going backside on you. So those people have to play slow playing. The linebackers can't just do this, Zander. Run to the fill. You've got to slow play it, or the quarterback will take it backside on you, or the quarterback will RPO and hit that slant pass.
Right. That's
what's making that thing a lot more difficult. Now, the problem for the Eagles has been, and let me go right down to 4 here. A.J. Brown.
So basically, our O-line, real quick, though, just to answer, because you gave me a good response to my question. Our O-line is basically so good. They don't have enough guys on the field to stop everybody.
No, their 5 can beat their 8.
Right. And not only that, but our offensive linemen are tossing one guy out of the way and getting to another one.
Threw him out of the club. When Becton threw the guy out of the club here. And this is what the problem has been also. A.J. Brown's got 3 catches for 24 yards in 2 games.
Yeah, I gave that this morning. That's brutal.
I think that's health. And so here's number 4. Is A.J. Brown healthy enough? And will he have an impact in this game on Sunday? Because would we not agree? This has probably been his worst postseason he's ever played. 3 catches, 24 yards. For a guy who has to be a major factor. That's 10 targets, too.
We got destroyed in 21 playoffs. So if you want to factor that in.
Well, he wasn't there yet.
Yeah, he was there. He lost to the Bucks.
21?
Yeah. Remember, wasn't it like 31-0?
That was something. Buccaneers.
Brady. Yeah, where's Brady? Brady destroyed. I think at one point in the game it was like 31.
Like 31-14 or 31-7 or some shit. They blew him out.
I mean, look, it's hard to judge this because 31-15 we lost. Yeah, but I thought at the game at one point the game was. Yeah, we had 15 points in the fourth quarter. After 3, it was 31-0. Yeah, I thought I remembered that correctly. Yep. It's hard because he gonna play 3 games this postseason, right? He played 1 in 23 and 1 in 21. What would you rather have? Obviously, if you played 3, it means you keep winning. So I'm going to say this is not the worst he's played in the postseason because the other 2 times, there's two of the 4 years that we were bounced out of the postseason in the first round. So
he's averaging 1 catch for 12 yards a game.
Oh, you're talking about A.J. Brown. I thought you were talking about Jaylen Hurts.
No, 1 game.
A.J. Brown was not here in 21.
Yeah, I'm talking A.J.
I thought you were talking about Jaylen Hurts. My bad. That's my bad.
A.J. Brown is
everybody's in the chat. Now I see why you guys are all saying that. I'm like,
A.J. Brown is 1 catch for 12 yards in 2 games per game.
Yeah, my bad. I thought we were talking about Jaylen.
Okay.
Yeah, no, this is definitely his worst playoffs. I mean, definitely. He's got 3 catches in 2 games is brutal. Imagine the Vikings saying that about Justin Jefferson. Imagine any team saying that about their star wide receiver. That's nothing. That's no production. That's no impact on the game. So, yeah, got to be better than that.
How about this one? Number 5. How concerned are you about Jake Elliott rolling into this thing on Sunday?
I don't know. So we had BLG on this morning, and I asked him this question, and I thought he gave a perfect answer. I really did. All right, because he's like, I don't worry about clutch kicks. He seems to hit the clutch kicks. Like last week, he made 3 kicks, 2 kicks late in the game. I think 2 second-half kicks in that game, and with the snow pouring down that he made, right? 6 valuable points. It's the point after. It's the shitty 3 points that, isn't costly now but cost you later that keeps a team in a game that he doesn't seem to hit. It's the routine ones that seem like they're missing for Jake. And, in a big spot late in the game, I feel like Jake will make it. On a point after in the first quarter on our first drive, I don't know. He might miss it. and that's the kind of thing that keeps teams in games. So maybe. He's definitely a little bit of a concern. I wouldn't say I think it's going to cost us at this point, but it's certainly something that you're paying a little closer attention to the TV when he's kicking that ball. There's no doubt about that. So I wouldn't say concerned though. I don't think concerned to the point where it's going to cost us.
I hate going into the game going, my kicker, I don't know what I'm getting. I mean, it's just to me, I don't know, man. I mean, like you said, he made some kicks that were important this past weekend. He also missed PATs that gave the Rams a shot to win.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that to me kind of is hit or miss. Boy, that's a tough one going into an NFC Championship game. Here's number 6. I think Daniels has to protect the football for them to be in this game by the 4th quarter. He cannot turn the football over because the one thing the Eagles have made a priority of, I don't even know if they give a shit if Hurts gets touchdowns or not. I know that they don't want that dude turning the ball over because they believe Barkley can run them to New Orleans. So Daniels cannot turn the football over. If he turns the football over, Eagles play normal football, it'll be a tough day for them. They cannot turn the football over.
Part of me wants to say, oh, yeah, you're right. And then there's other part of me that says they also just beat us with 5 turnovers, 2 fumbles from Brian Robinson, a fumble from De'Ami Brown, and 2 interceptions from Jaden Daniels. By the way, 1 coming in the last 5 minutes of the 4th quarter in that game. And they still won the game.
Unbelievable.
So, I don't know. Do I think it's a factor? Yes. Okay. Because I don't think Jaylen Hurts is going to turn the ball over. All right. I
don't either.
Enough, that we don't think they're not putting him in that position. Now, the one other variable is what's he got to do differently this week without the legs. Maybe that creates a different scenario. But now turnover is going to be huge. If Jayden turns it over, the key is going to be the Eagles have to capitalize. How many times did the Eagles had 2 turnovers last week? And I think did they get a touchdown off the one? Because I felt like, no, even the Packers game. Remember the Packers game? 3 turnovers in the first half.
When Williams turned the ball over, they scored. I thought they got some points.
No, they did. They did better at that this week. Packers game, though, 3 first-half turnovers, remember? Right. And it was 10-0 at halftime. Yep. I mean, if they turn the ball over, you got to make them pay for it. You got to make them pay. You got to get in the end zone. So that would be the big thing I would say that would be a big – it's always a big factor, right? Turnovers are obviously always a big factor in the game. So ask Philly Godfather about them.
especially in this game.
Yeah.
Number 7, how are the Commanders going to block Jaylen Carter? I mean, that to me is another factor. I think you're probably going to have to go quick passes, quick rhythm passes, 3-step drops. You're going to have to do it kind of like to take the Sam Howell kind of playbook out and just get those quick passes out. Then you're going to have to hope because Vic is not going to play man. Yeah. He's going to play zone. So to me, I think that fits right in to the skill set of Jaden Daniels. And I think that helps Washington because even though I do think Carter's going to be a handful, there's a way to negate him.
They're not blocking Jaylen Carter. I'm telling you right now, they're not blocking.
Okay, but they're not going to block him, but he's not getting home with a 3-step drop. That's 1 second. That's right. 1.5 seconds.
Well,
he's not getting back there.
The craziest thing about Jaylen Carter is right now this year is even with starting guards that are in, and they don't have their starting guard, obviously. Sam Cosme's out. I think it's going to be Trent something. I forget. I'm blanking on the guy's name that's going to step in for him. But the craziest thing about Jaylen Carter is it seems like even when teams bring double teams, and I'll give a credit, I think, would this, you tell me, would this be
Trent Scott?
Yeah, Trent Scott. Would this be Clint Hurt? Would this be Vic Fangio? The Eagles have amazing techniques and things that they do in that defensive line when he gets double teamed. I mean, they punch Nolan Smith down this way and Jaylen Carter comes around the backside. It seems like everything they do, other teams do to slow down Carter is not really enough. He always creates plays, whether that's through the double team, around the double team, a swim move, whatever it might be. And I don't think they're going to be able to block him. I think their game plan is going to say, hey, Jayden, you better know where that guy is every play. And you better have your eye on him. And you might have to use your legs 3 or 4 times in this game to escape him. That's going to be the difference with this game versus Stafford. The last 2 throws of the game last week, Jaylen Carter affected it. He got the sack, and then he affected the final throw on 4th down for Matthew Stafford. Jayden Daniels is not going to be stuck in that pocket like Matthew Stafford was. So you're going to have to work. I'm telling you, I keep saying it. It's the Jaylen Hurts effect now in Washington. Remember, how many times have we watched Jaylen Hurts in his career where a guy gets through or a guy nearly gets home and Jaylen sidesteps him and goes and gets a first down for 10 yards, or he tucks inside the tackle and he runs for 12 yards? Well, they have that now. So you got to be sound in your gaps to try and contain Jayden Daniels, and that's going to be a big thing. How hard does, Carter push because you have that dual threat quarterback? I don't know, man. This is an interesting game. This is a really interesting game. So I think mainly because of Jayden Daniels.
Commanders have to win 1st and 2nd down, in my opinion. They have to, which means this. Where I'm going with it is they got to be 3rd and 3, less than 5, 3rd and 5. They got to be in there because you know why? It keeps the secondary honest. If you see this in this ball game in the first half, they're 3rd and 7 throughout the entire time. That game's a blowout. It's a blowout if they're 3rd and 7. If they get in there and it's manageable, 3rd and 5, 3rd and 4, you are going to make everybody have to defend the run and the pass for Washington. Remember, this guy's almost a one-man wrecking crew here. He's the closest thing that you see to Josh Allen. Now, the difference is he's got Terry McLaurin. The running backs have picked their game up.
Yeah. Wait, also, before you continue, sorry to cut you off. Let me just push back on one thing here, all right? Because I don't think people are giving this guy enough credit. Clary Voice says Daniels is a lot smaller and not as good of a runner.
I don't disagree. He's got 830 yards rushing.
He's got 900 yards rushing, which is 15 shy of Lamar Jackson. And he's got 2 less attempts this year than Jaylen Hurts, who has nearly 300 yards less than him. 900 yards rushing for a quarterback? I mean, 6 yards per attempt?
Here's the
dude, he's pretty lights out running the ball.
Here's the comparisons to the quarterbacks and what they did to their teams this year. Jaden Daniels had 480 attempts on 331 completions. Hurts had 361 on 248. Jaden Daniels, shockingly, had a 69% completion percentage. Hurts was a tick under at 68.7. Daniels had 35.68 passing yards. This is a rookie year. Hurts had 29.03 in 15 games. Daniels had 25 touchdowns and 9 picks. Under 10 is always sensational, and a quarterback rating of 100. Hurts had 18 touchdowns and 5 picks with a 103.7. Rushing, Daniels had 148 rushing attempts. Hurts had 150. Daniels had 891 yards rushing. Hurts had 630. He had 6 yards a clip. Hurts had 14 TDs, and Daniels had 6 TDs, averaging 52 yards a game. Hurts had 42 yards rushing per game. Yeah. Jaden Daniels, without a doubt, with those 12 wins to 12-5, and now there are 14 wins with a shot to win 15 ball games. Jaden Daniels is by far the number one reason why Washington's in this game.
I'm surprised Eagles fans are saying that. Don't they remember that we had a 2-touchdown lead on the Washington Commanders on December 22nd, and we were a 4th and 11 away from blowing the team out? We would have gotten the ball back near midfield, and we would have been able to go up 3 touchdowns in that game in the 4th quarter. Okay, we're down. They were down 2 touchdowns. It was 4th and 11. Jaden Daniels scrambled for like 30-plus yards to get the first down and more, and they went in and got a touchdown. And then obviously we all know how that game ended, and we lost 36-33 or whatever it was, 35-33. I mean, this guy can run, man. I'm telling you right now.
I agree with a lot of people in here, and I do agree experience will be a factor. I do. I mean, this is all new to him. Do I think that he's going to melt down like butter in a pan? No. But I do. I mean, when you haven't seen playing college ball and playing NFL ball, it's night and day. And I can only imagine the quarterback position, just the defensive tackle position from college to pro, it's night and day. Imagine all the nuances you have to know from the college level to the pro level. Remember something in college. They tell you where to throw the ball in college. In the NFL, you have to know where to throw the ball. That is the complete difference of quarterbacking in the NFL versus college ball. You have to know pre-snap everything on what you're looking at with landmarks, what teams are trying to do post-snap on moving coverages. It's a very meticulous studying that you have to have, watching a ton of game film. Tom Brady said it numerous times. I spent more time watching game film and watching defenses and what they were trying to do to me than I did on the practice field. It's just your study room. It gets to a point when you're Brady. Do I really need to have him go out there and go out in the 2-hour practice, or do I need him to watch the nuances of what Mike Tomlin or Todd Bowles or somebody's trying to do to him when it comes to schematics or Dennis Allen? I can't tell you how hard it is to win in the NFL when you have these style of coaches here. Hear this one. Number 10. I think the Redskins have to be aggressive and continue to be aggressive on 4th down.
Well, yeah,
I think because they have to pick and choose, though, Zander, when to be aggressive. They just can't be overly aggressive. But I think they're going to have to make an aggressive move somewhere in there, a 4th down, or maybe they're on their plus side of the field, where they're going to have to gamble in this game, especially if you start to feel the game will get a little bit physically out of their reach. You're going to have to gamble in this ball game. That's when you're going to know. The first time you see Washington gamble, that's the first time you know that the Eagles are inflicting their will on them.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And that's one of my biggest points about the Eagles. I know we're looking at this from right now from the Commanders side, but for the Eagles, it's get off the field on 3rd down. And furthermore, you can't give them a 4th and short either. You know, you're getting a taste of your own medicine now where getting them to 4th and short is not enough. Jaden Daniels was 3 for 3 last week on 4th down, or 2 for 3 late in the game. And you know, you got to get him off the field on 3rd down. I think it was Fiddlesworth or somebody in the chat who just put that up here, how getting off the field on 3rd down is going to be huge. I missed the comment. Sorry if you put it in there. I appreciate you putting the comment, but it's true, man. The Eagles got to get – if you get off the field on third down, or you keep them in 3rd and long and they can't convert, it's a whole different – it's obviously a different football game. You're going to give your offense way more chances to score. You're going to be able to control the clock, control everything. And that's when you're going to be able to play how you want to play. So that's going to be huge, no doubt about it. And it's kind of scary.
I think in the second half they got to play with 4 downs. I agree with you.
It's not scary, but listen, that Dan Quinn goes for it. He doesn't care. It's going to be 4-down territory. This defense has to be prepared for 4-down territory, basically everywhere, kind of like it's been in Philly for a while.
Absolutely. We will have Merrill Reese at 4:30 Eastern time, and we will also have Joe Theismann, who apologized for yesterday. That'll be at 5:30 Eastern time. We'll get his thoughts on the Commanders and Jaden Daniels. He thought he would be a great player this year, and he's turned out to be that great player. Him and Herm Edwards both absolutely love him. Let's do the supers here, Zander.
Yep, let's do them. Give me 1 second, all right?
You bet, man. Guys, I appreciate it. Do me a favor. Please hit that like button. You've been great. It's championship week. Here you are. This is championship week, dude. Yep. You know what?
By the way, Stills, we are going to do the Zach Bond jersey giveaway on your show. All right? I'm either doing it tomorrow or Friday. You got to tune in.
Tomorrow, Friday.
You got to be here, and you got to tune in. So it might be tomorrow. It might be Friday, all right?
Fantastic. So tomorrow or Friday, we're going to be giving away.
You got to be here for the Sills and Zander segment.
During this segment, folks.
Yeah, you got to be here for the Sills and Zander segment, all right?
Yep, absolutely. So make sure you hit the like button. Hey, by the way, I said it earlier before we get to the supers here.
Yep.
Hey, man, I fucking love Frankie Louvu's attitude, man. I wish I had 53 guys just like that, because if you don't think that Eagle O-line's not going to remember the fact that he drove Jaylen Hurts' fucking head into the turf, and they're not going to be looking to put a hat in his ribs, you're out of your mind. Hey, snowflakes, do me a favor. This is NFL football, man.
Yeah.
People are like turtles in here.
I got crushed on Twitter for this.
Nobody forgets shit.
I got crushed on Twitter. Not crushed, but people were like, he's dirty, he's dirty. I'm like, I know, I don't care. He's a game changer. That's what he is. He changes. Right. You know, he hits hard and he's a game-changing player. He knocked out your quarterback. I mean, knocked the shit out of Jared Goff.
He did.
Last week. That was so great. Look, he's a game-changing player. I'm with you on this. I like physical football play. It's a physical game. If you want to play flag football, then go watch flag football. Khaled says,
dirty player. Great.
Khaled says, A.J. Brown has been quiet for too long. Watch Sunday.
Okay. Hey, Khalid, I like your gamble, man. You're out there on a limb. A great player showing up.
I
think he's hurt.
I'm kind of with you, Khalid. I think he's going to have a better game this week. Jeff Fox.
He's hurt.
Yeah, we'll see. Game plan for that last Washington game was for Hurts and not Pickett. That's fair.
Yep.
What does that have to do with the defense, Jeff?
Yeah, Jaylen Hurts don't play corner. I mean, I love that comment. Now, does Jaylen not be?
Wait. Because I can easily – this is a very easy – Jeff, I love you. This is very easy to push back on. Offense still put up 33 points, which is more than we've put up in almost every other game this season outside of the home opener or outside of the season opener.
And game looked better.
The defense had five takeaways. I mean, what do you want? Jaden Daniels had 5 touchdown passes. What does that have to do with Jaylen Hurts?
Why do you think certain Eagle fans have a problem saying the passing game's not very good this year?
I think they take it personal. I think they take it as a shot against their team, and there's a lot.
More so a shot against Hurts, not a shot against the team, because you're 16-3.
I think they take it as a shot against the Eagles, though. As Jaylen Hurts wears an Eagles uniform, and many fans believe that he's one of us. And now I'm cool with that line of thinking. I don't have as much of a hard time calling it out. Some people don't want to call it out. That's their style of fandom. It's not my style at all. But that's why I think it's a pride thing. I don't think they like, And the other thing is, I think every city does this, but just being on the, kind of in the realm or in the conversation. I read a lot of comments. Obviously, I read a lot of social media, and I read a lot of Eagles fans. There's a lot of Eagles fans who just believe there's like an agenda against Philly all the time. Like if you turn on a talk show, all right, you turn on First Take, or you turn on Dan Orlovsky. Everybody gets mad at Dan Orlovsky or Emmanuel Acho. Like they go through every game and like every sports topic, and somebody gets some praise and somebody gets shit on. Like it's not, nobody's trying to put look, here's the other thing. There is business too, though. Philly reacts, man. Oh yeah. So maybe, if they do have something to say about Philly, they will scream it louder from the rooftop. But I don't know. I think people think, there's like this agenda. I don't think there is. I just think people make good shows. I mean,
Anthony said if we lose, Sileo's going to turn this place into a funeral.
Anthony's not wrong.
You're like a funeral parlor.
You know what I always say though too, about big sales, because I get a lot of emails, I get a lot of hate mail, I get a lot of comments. Fire Sileo, Jaylen hater. I'm like, see, this is what people don't know about Sileo. Okay, Sileo has no ties to the Philadelphia Eagles. He's got zero reason to root for the team, zero reason to do anything other than that. This is where he works for the last 5 years. He's obviously a great partner of ours on JAKIB, and we cover the Philadelphia Eagles because we are Philadelphia-based. That's his only tie to us. Yeah. If you go back and look at Sileo's career, when he covered Miami, he wears Miami gear every damn day on the show. Who's a bigger cheerleader for Miami? Go watch. His most famous rant in this entire business was that Miami football is not living up to the championship standard that we set. You're not a hater. You just want greatness in every area, and you typically are pretty good at making a bombastic, entertaining way at doing that. That's a talent. That is a talent. But that doesn't mean you just hate Jaylen. I hate when people say that.
I don't give a shit about him.
You're a hard sports talk guy. You want greatness, Big Sil.
I don't have a bell curve.
That's cool. I'm cool with that.
I don't have a bell curve.
Look at Real Zeal's Sileo-ized comments.
Hey, wait a minute. You know what I do like, though? I do love the Philly sports fans.
Yeah,
I
do.
do. I like the people, man. I'm not going to lie. I tell you what, I actually like those fucking Bills fans. You see what they did to Mark Andrews? Guy drops a ball in the end zone. They gave him $50,000 to his fucking favorite charity. What an absolutely backhanded cool slap in the head because he dropped the football in the end zone that would have put the game in the reach here for the Ravens. They gave him $50,000. I thought that was awesome, man. I dig that shit.
Khaled says playoff experience.
I agree with him.
Yeah, I agree. Anthony Wilson, why can't we run screens? Threat will help numbers. I don't know.
Anthony.
We're the worst screen team. We are the worst screen team in the NFL, man.
But they have no screen game.
And they should. Like, we don't. It's not like we have bad
Barkley.
Yeah, Barkley. I think Devontae Smith would be great in screens. Like, you would think even A.J. Brown, if you got him in space, he'd make good miss. Gainwell, right. I mean, I don't know. It's weird. We suck at him, though, no doubt. Darth Vader, what's up, bro? Thank you for becoming a member, too, as well, by the way. Darth Vader.
Oh, awesome.
Appreciate that. Who would win a wing-eating contest between Becton, Jordan Davis, or Philly 500?
I got my money on Philly 500.
Give me 500. Give me 500. A legend. All right, I'm taking 500.
Every time when he comes on the program, I see dirty fingernails, man. It's either two things, and I'm going to assume it's wings.
Jason A-Team says, Hurts doesn't step in the pocket because he can't see over the O-line. I don't know why people keep saying that. That is why he keeps going backwards. Move on.
Okay, but hey, Jason, do you not agree? You arguably 92 net yards passing in 2 games. You could easily have the worst passing attack in postseason NFL history, and you're going to make it potentially to the Super Bowl with a guy with 90 yards. I fucking have never seen anything like it. Holy shit. I thought Jalen Milroe fucking sucked. I can't believe
don't get me. Please, for the love of God, do not start talking about Jalen Milroe right now.
That guy's going to go in the top 3 rounds. You watch.
What a bust.
Oh, I think he is too. I think he's got it written all over him.
Stinks. I'm so happy he's done at Alabama.
Me too, man.
And also, I don't care. I'm ready to call for I'm done with the bore. I know he's going to get another year. I'm done with this dude. He is not built for championship DNA. This guy is a scrub, and he should go back to the Pac-12.
He's not built for the SEC.
No, he's not. He was, what's Washington in now? Did they go to the Big Ten? What'd they go to?
Big Ten.
Big Ten, yeah. They used to be Pac-12, though, didn't they?
Yeah, soft.
Yeah, soft.
Yeah.
He coaches exactly like I would expect.
Washington takes COVID games off.
Wait,
the SEC would play through.
The
SEC would play through like Tiberian flu. They would play through the Black Plague. Games are played in the SEC, no matter if an atomic bomb drops.
I know.
Games are being played.
I got one chatter in mind who would be a Pac-12 coach. All right. That's the mentality I'm talking about. Who do you got? One chatter.
Pac-12 coach? Is he in college or pros?
College. I mean, I just mean the mentality I mean when I say he's a Pac-12 coach.
Ryan Day.
No, I'm talking about someone in the chat. M. Reyes.
M. Reyes.
It's like M. Reyes.
M. Reyes would be the ultimate Pac-12. You know where he would coach to? At UCLA.
M. Reyes.
He would be at UCLA because he'd be there with all them snowflakes.
There he is. What's up, my guy? I love M. Reyes. He's a great guy. All right.
Duva's a cheap shot artist, and he's a dirty player. Yeah,
holy shit. Bobby Brown with a super. You don't see many of these.
Getting in there.
Bob says the loss of Cosby at right guard will be huge. Line Carter up over the backup, run stunts in those gaps, test this guy's ability to play. Vic needs to attack the right guard, Carter up the middle, and JD face. You're right, Bob, but let's just hope he doesn't scoot right outside and make Jaylen miss. That's my fear.
Yeah. Hey, M. Reyes, more so that you would be coaching at some place like Rancho Cucamonga.
M. Reyes is the ultimate Pac-12 coach.
Oh, my God, is he ever, man.
Put him in, coach. Put him in.
He'd have the rainbow shirt on, too.
Big picking. You can say that again. All right, here we go. Bob, thanks for the super. Appreciate it. Jack Dwight says, Eagles say he is a stud, but call plays for game manager.
Eagles say he is a stud, but yeah, I know. Hey, Jack, look at my guy. He's fucking great. You can only throw the ball 10 times.
Oh,
no.
Hey,
Jack, that's a great observation. My guy's elite. He threw the ball 12 times last week.
Oh, no. And they're not even asking him anymore. Still, they don't even want him to throw the deep ball anymore. They had to run a fake tush push to give him a chance at it. Oh, no. All right, here we go. Darth Vader again. Thanks, Darth. Appreciate it, bro. $10. Do you think most Devontae Smith gets majority of targets this week, considering AJ is hurt and Lattimore will be following it? And if so, Jaylen can hit the outside passes to him with the bad knee.
How about this, Darth? I think that you're going to get a better Lattimore this week because he came off that injured reserve the last time or the other time they played when he ran out of gas in the second half. Personally, I think you're going to get a more in shape Lattimore because he hadn't played for a month and a half, Zander, and now he's been playing for a month and a half. So I think you're going to get a better effort out of him, and that matchup is going to be, I think, a little bit tougher for AJ, especially since AJ's wheel, in my opinion, is banged up. I think it's going to be a great matchup between those two.
Yeah, we'll see how it plays out. Darth, appreciate your support, bro. 2 big supers today and the member. So thank you, man, for the support.
Yes, thank you.
All right. I don't think we got this. James Jones. Sills, can you believe it? We're playing the wait, before I read his, we're playing the Commanders in an NFC title game.
No, I can't believe it.
Okay, no, wait. 4 days from now. And you know what I ordered last night on Fanatics?
What'd you order?
I ordered a Jaden Daniels jersey for James Jones because he won our giveaway.
James, congratulations.
The funniest part is we're playing the fucking communist, and I'm ordering a communist jersey on the same week? Are you kidding me?
I don't know, man. That sounds pretty fucked up, actually.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Hey, I'll say this to you, though. Philly's in prime they're in prime order right now. You see them fuck you Josh Harris signs all over the city.
Yeah. I think people this is gonna bring it to a little bit of a head that people are gonna Can you just imagine for a second?
No way.
All right, I don't want to think about this, but the Commanders win, and Josh Harris is at the link in Philly celebrating going to the Super Bowl with his NFC Championship hat
with the George Halas Trophy.
You can't get that stink off you. I'm sorry, he might have to sell it.
He won't. I guarantee you, he better not go down there. They'll hit him with snowballs.
Big Pickens says you should have said that after the game.
Hey, I guarantee you, if he goes down there to get that George Halas Trophy for the NFC Championship, they will hit that guy with snowballs.
Oh, definitely. Well, I don't know. It's probably pretty far.
Yeah, well.
Brian, I sent your jersey today. Good to see you in here, man.
Well, you do have to go through that tunnel.
Well, that's true. That's true.
All right. You do have to go through that tunnel. Is that it?
That's all the supers.
All right, man. You guys have been great. By the way, man, I wonder how many NFC Championship games this is now for Merrill. That whole run that he had with McNabb. The one that the 80 was one of his first NFC title games, the 04.
Dude, McNabb, Merrill was calling so many games. But I was watching the Eagles.
You grew up with him, right?
He's all I knew. I mean, he was forget me. Bob Brown grew up with him. Like all these people who are my uncles in the chat grew up with him. You would have grew up with him if you grew up with him. Forget me. I'm young. Joe Whipp grew up with him. Akbar grew up with him. I mean, dude, the Eagles YouTube video put Eagles YouTube channel put up a video today. It's like 18 minutes straight of Eagles playoff highlights. It's great. I watched it like 3 times. It's great. All right. It's freaking great. But I kept saying to myself, holy shit, I don't know any of those players, or I know them, but I didn't watch, obviously, any of those players. And there's Merrill's voice. The TV is barely visible. It's so damn fuzzy. And it's still Merrill Reese's voice over the background. I'm like, man, Merrill's been around for a long time, man.
You know who I was? Now, you may not know. You probably heard the name. But the guy that I was close to in Philly was Harry Callis.
Yeah.
And Harry Callis, you know how I became friends with the family because Todd Callis covered the Tampa Bay Rays, and he works on the pre and post game show. And Todd and I would do the pre and post game show when I worked in Tampa. And every time the Phillies were either in Clearwater or what have you, Harry would come into my studio, and I was friends with Harry Callis. I mean, I used to get him on the program all the time. I loved Harry Callis, and he was a dear friend of mine until he passed away. I'm friends with Todd. I actually, on this network, I've had Todd Callis on.
Yeah, Harry Callis is a legend, man. He's rarefied air. I think Merrill's about at that level.
Yeah.
If you get another Super Bowl with Merrill, oh man, I think he's going to be at that level. I mean, his Super Bowl call in 17 was pretty damn iconic, man. It was pretty damn iconic. I'd like to ask Merrill, like, how long do you think about that? Or do you think about that at all? You know, is that moment something that you envision and script out, or is that a moment you feel in the moment and just
in the moment? He's an in the moment guy. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I do too. I do too.
I think the great ones are in the moment. I think scripting shit out like that, I think it comes off phony.
Yeah, but you got to have some sort of, like, you got to.
I think you probably are thinking about
You're
it.
flying here, and here he is. He's going to join us, so I'll let you get to him. But be interesting to see what he got to say. All right, brother.
How about this one here? I believe this is his 8th NFC Championship game. And as I told you before I bring him on here, my connection with Philly was Harry Callis, because Todd Callis, as I just mentioned, worked with the Tampa Bay Rays, and I did the pre- and post-game show. Todd was great. Harry Callis would come into my studio, and when he was in Clearwater, Zander, he would come over. Oh, my God, what a prince of a guy. So you're saying if he wins one more, he's in that kind of.
I think so. I'm a young fan. Merrill knows that. I mean, I'm a younger guy, but
you grew up with Merrill.
Yeah, Merrill's all we ever heard on the radio. So
all right,
legend. All right, Sills, I'll catch you tomorrow.
Appreciate you. Thank you guys so much. By the way, Joe Theismann will join us. That'll be at 5:30. Thank you, Zander. I appreciate it. Make sure you guys please hit the like button. So we'll have Joe Theismann, who I'm sure Merrill Reese called a boatload of those Redskin and Eagle games. So wait a minute here. Is this his 8th NFC Championship game? You think he keeps count? My favorite of all the ones that he called, it's got to be the 81 with the Cowboys and the Eagles. It's got to